Waiting has one.
Good morning! Good morning, Chardonnay. Thank you. Okay, guys,
Awesome.
this is so cool. So we're gonna get started here in just a second, but you got to get on a minute early and play around with the camera. But it looks like you're sitting like way back here.
I don't know. Maybe I should move a little forward.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I love
Smell
the
over
seat
here.
for.
Is that
Christa.
not? Yeah, well, it's
Perfect.
technically for Chardonnay.
Chardonnay, but it works.
But I walked in the front door and saw that and went, yep, here's where I'm going to be shooting my videos. Hey, Mr. Newland. See, I still feel like I'm like, I'll try and sit back a little bit. I sit on the edge of the seat because I'm so excited with what you're going to share.
Well, thank you.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
be
so
on the edge of
excited
the
to.
seat, so. Okay, so is it 10:30, ladies? We have a what do I want to call you?
Fan club.
We have a fan club. We have a fan club. So hey, coffee with Christa. Come hang out with us and have coffee. So
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys, we are going to get started. It is 10:30, so it is time for coffee with Christa. We are hanging out here at Chardonnay's Brew Lane in beautiful downtown Meridian. Definitely my favorite space in the whole wide world. I love getting to come and hang out here with Chardonnay and the crew. If you guys haven't been down here, you've got to come and check it out. I'm so grateful she lets me hang out here every single week. She hasn't asked me not to come back yet, so I'm thinking that's a good sign.
That's a great sign. Yeah,
I know.
I love it.
I'm pretty
and
excited.
really, this is I love this coffee shop. So quaint and so cozy. I love it. Yeah.
See, well, and me, it's a sexy spot. They're shopping, guys. Is this not the cutest Idaho necklace ever? I got it here.
That's very cute.
Because
Yes.
coffee, food, great
Shopping.
company, and shopping.
Oh my God. What else do you need?
Nothing, actually. No, I'm set. Actually, I would live here. Which is why, I'll wait until the end of the show to announce that. So, bless you guys' heart, because those of you that have been following me, you were so excited to meet Jamie and Marla, and then it was Sammy, and guess what? It's not. We're hanging out. Oh,
My beard came in a little bit.
a little bit. So here's the thing. I'm so excited to get to hang out with.
Rafael Lopez.
So there's an inside joke. Those of you that know him, nobody says his name, so he does. So
Right.
again, we are here with.
Rafael.
Who doesn't love that? Just sit here and talk to him all day. So yes, we are hanging out with the amazing one and only Rafael Lopez. I'm so excited to get to introduce him to you. Those of you that are here in Treasure Valley, some of you have gotten to know him. He spoke this last weekend. For those of you that watched last week, of course, we had the beautiful Marie Wallace sharing about the Love and Romance Project. I of course, was there in attendance, did a live, got to hang out with everybody. And Rafael here happened to be one of the speakers, and you guys, he was amazing, absolutely amazing. So the simple fact that I got to score him to come on today is kind of a big deal, because he's kind of a big deal. So thank you so much for hanging out.
No, thank you. It's such an honor. I do appreciate that. And it was so great to be here for the weekend, which is. I'm
I
glad was able
know.
to be here.
So
Yeah.
you guys, he's here on vacation,
I am.
and he's working. I love this guy already.
A day, every day. It's when you do what you love.
Do what you love.
It's not work. It's just about sharing and spreading and changing the world, really.
And coffee.
Yeah, and coffee. Yes.
It's always
Coffee
about
helps.
coffee. So, oh my gosh. So let's just jump right on in. So tell us a little bit about you. And because here's this, for me, you guys, this is kind of fun. Because usually my guests, I know them really well. And we're just now getting to know one another.
Exactly.
And so this is really super fun to get to know you kind of along with all of my audience. So tell us what we need to know about you.
So, again, my name is Rafael. And I have actually developed a coaching system. It's called the 7 Truths of Having It All. It's about creating meaningful connections. And that's what gets you whatever it is that you desire. And so something that I wanted to talk about today, kind of focus on a little bit more, because it's a broad spectrum of things. Because connections in anything, whether it's your intimate partner, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, even at work,
Yeah.
it's about creating those connections. And there's different levels of intimacy, there's different levels of connection that you could do with anyone, really. First of all, it's about us. We come back to it. We talked about this last weekend at the Love and Romance Project. It was really about us. It's about self-care. It's about taking responsibility for yourself. And but from there, most people want to do it Other than that, they want to go out. And I really love, and this is what I wanted to talk about today, was more about the masculine and the feminine, really, because I teach about that.
Today's going to be fun.
Oh yeah, it's something that I love. Realizing that, because in the paradigm, and maybe a lot of people don't know what really masculine and feminine means, or other than woman, man, and it gets a little blurred. Right?
Having conversations, and one of the things that I love about you, just getting to listen to you speak, and some of the things that the wisdom that you've shared is that you really kind of strike me as a coach's coach. Really, honestly, which is, as a coach, a big deal.
Yes,
because
it is.
Lord knows coaches need coaches and coaches and coaches. But in having conversations with my clients, you're dead on. I mean, people don't really understand the masculine, the feminine, the energy behind it, where it comes from, how it shows up, etc. So I'm thrilled you get to talk about it today.
It's something that, like, we actually, before I even get into the separation of the two, knowing that we all have masculine and feminine within us.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets to be pulled out in certain aspects or certain such situations. But basically, it doesn't matter as far as to create attraction. What it is you have to have a masculine and feminine. It's kind of like a positive and negative of battery. To create that attraction, you have to have one. Even in same-sex partnerships, you have to have one that's a little bit more than the other, and again, it shifts back and forth. But I'm going to talk about it like me being masculine and you being feminine in a sense. And it doesn't have to be with a man or woman in that sense.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and one of the things that's so interesting is being able to have conversations with women.
Yes.
Like those of us that happen to be the more masculine energy person, and that's how I am with my hubby. I mean, my hubby is the really soft, squishy, lovey, and I love on people. Don't get me wrong. You guys know I'm like an insane hugger, but he's just definitely he has that softer energy to him. He's basically a big teddy bear, and then I'm kind of the bulldozer of the two of us.
And that's okay, because as long as you have that agreement in your relationship, there are many, many different people that are like that. If you ever look at someone like an Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt when they were together, he's a lot more in the feminine. You see pictures of him and she's ahead of him and she's just like bold and just kind of going at it, and he's at the back looking pretty, that kind of thing. So it's okay as long as it's an agreement within that relationship.
Right.
And one of the ways that I like to explain the masculine and feminine is actually a metaphor that my auntie told me. And actually it was a metaphor from her pasture, actually. We talked about this, which is really cool. Women are like balloons, right? Balloons are nice and shiny and beautiful, and they float around, and they actually float around in the winds of emotion and creativity and kind of just floating around and being beautiful. And everybody's like, oh, I like balloons. When you look at a balloon, like, oh, how cute, right? Everybody kind of follows it, right? You see it kind of go away. And men are like ropes or string. They're on a table. They're sitting there. They have purpose. They can do so many things. Once you put the purpose into, you can tie a rope what I'm thinking, branches or something, or tie something down and whatnot. And what ends up happening is we have purpose. We have something to do, and usually it's kind of a little bit more singular, and I'll go into that a little bit more. But what happens is when you actually put the two together, the balance of the two.
That's when the magic happens.
That's when the magic happens, right? So what ends up happening is, let's say a balloon's floating and there's a storm. It can just float away. It just goes somewhere and just disappear. Well, what ends up happening is when you tie the string to the balloon, the woman gives the man a purpose, uplifting him, helping him become the best person that he can be. And then the man grounds the woman and holds her down so she doesn't fly away. She can still move around and just kind of float in different directions. But what happens as well is she doesn't float away and disappear or become crazy, or kind of like you can put a lot of terms to it, but it's really about doing that. So with that symbiotic relationship,
I love that. That's a great metaphor. I like that. Cool.
So one of my main goals and one of my main purposes in life is to actually uplift men, in a sense, help us to become the better man to connect to that balloon. So you can connect to a nice balloon, right? Something in Los Angeles, something even and I'll take it back to me, I actually hired a coach. I hired a dating coach to help me. And what I didn't realize was, in the beginning when I found him, I was going for the lowest common denominator. I was like, really, most men just want to have sex, get laid.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Just throwing that out there.
And it's in our it's in our
It's how you're wired.
We're wired this way,
That's
right?
not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
It's a wiring thing. It's how we were designed, or how
Right.
men were designed.
Exactly. But what ends up happening is women just don't want that. Women want connection, want communication. They want to know that they're safe.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
And have you found it to be true? No matter how strong or dominant or whatever word you want to attach to it, the woman is, she still at her very core wants to feel secure and safe
Exactly.
and protected.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
The only reason she's that way strong and all that is because she doesn't have the masculine counterpart to feel safe to be in that feminine and to get into that creativity.
Ooh. I just had an aha moment. That's cool.
Right? Right? Exactly.
That's cool.
So what ends up happening is as men develop, and you know, I live in Orange County right now. I live in Costa Mesa, and there's a big movement out there already. There's a lot of men that have actually stepped up and shifted around, but around the world, and even around here, like I see, there seems to be a little bit of an uplifting, but there doesn't seem to be. And I don't want to, and I'm not saying it's a negative. It's just kind of an observation that I made is there's not a lot of positive male role models.
Oh, amen.
And
yeah,
exactly. So this is why I think I was invited to come in and speak out here and be part of that and actually start to show that there is a possibility of that. And not only that, but showing women as well. Because women want it, but there's a lot of times they still negate it or poo-poo it like, there's no such thing as that. You're a unicorn. You're unique. It's like, no, it just takes time to develop and work that.
None of us are unicorns.
No, not at all.
Sorry. I'm probably going to get some feedback from that, but I'm sorry. None of us are really that original or unique.
No, we're not. We're all humans.
We're all human, and we're all basically wired similarly, while our personalities, experiences, etc., separate us and create our own sense of uniqueness. We're still at our very baseline humans.
Exactly. And again, we're kind of wired that way, the masculine and feminine. Right? Women are there to take care of the like even if we go back to caveman time, right? Kind of do that. Women were there to take care of the community, to take care of the family. There was an intermix of that. So you had to be really attuned to the emotions and all of that. Right? Where men, we would go out and hunt. We would still, it was interesting because we were alone, but together. Because nobody ever talked. It was just like we had one purpose, get food. And so there was never really talking about emotions. Because if you talked about that, then it distracted you and something, saber-tooth can get you from the side. You can kill something and bring it back home to provide. So what ends up happening is a lot of times when a woman presents an emotion to a man or something happens within a man, we'll get all like, tilt, you know what I mean? And so we don't even know
exactly what they look like when they do it.
Exactly.
The guys are like, oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things, right? And so it's about learning how to deal with it, but how to feel those emotions, right? And then also for the woman's side, to give the man a little bit of an opportunity to be able to like not just jump out like, tell me what's going on, but we're processing it, and a lot of times it takes internal because we don't even know what it is. And then if you're not, how can I say that? If there's not any growth or anything that's working within you, then you might snap and say, F you, blah, blah, blah. You know, all these words come out, and then this is where this cyclical argument happens.
Got it.
And it's about, learning how to become a better man, to get that purpose for yourself, to rise up, and learn how to create that safe space for women. So what ends up happening is, and I've had this experience in my life, where I will just walk into a room and I'll be teaching, and then I'll have some women around me, and I could see there's some giddiness and this and that because they're being their feminine. It's just that being in the grounding space, it allows them and they feel safe to be in that feminine, so they can become creative and nurturing and all of that, and being that emotion because of that space. What reminds me of is like men, we all have this within us, but it's like a circuit breaker. Something like a trip switch, or you put all the power strips, let's say, right?
Oh, okay.
Like a little power strip, right? It has a little flick switch on the end.
Got it.
You do that. So what ends up happening is you put too many things in it, and it pops the circuit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you know that there's the little little cheap ones and like whatever, and they'll just pop really easy. Or you can get the really beefy ones, right? So what I help men to do is to actually build that circuit breaker, build that power strip. At first, yeah, because when a woman, sends some message to us, or we talk, or like even in the banter, men pop, and they don't know how to deal with it. So it's about creating that inner strength, that inner grounding, so that they can get stronger and stronger. So then you can take weight in that interaction, and that way then you can turn around like, okay, you're giving me a little bit of little fun, so that I can turn it back and be fun, but not be in an angry way, and just be kind of, that way you can go back and forth. And this is what creates a safe space for women, so that they know, again, going back to caveman time, he's going to protect me. I'm going to feel safe.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yes.
So here, just because I really seriously had like an awesome aha moment. Hello. Okay, please share with your male friends that might want it. Oh, look at Sammy out there just telling them what's going on.
Thank you, Sammy.
Thank you, Sammy. We love you. So here's my question. So in my first marriage, so let me back up. So this is what happens the first time I get to talk to somebody. Now it's like, I have questions. So at my very core, my innate wiring is that creator personality. So if you guys know, that's ideal personality. DISC, it's the I personality. Okay. That outgoing, engaging, creative individual. That's me at my very core, and that's who I was until I entered my first marriage. Alcoholism, not mine, his. Abuse, verbal, physical, financial, you name it, not good. Got out of that and then became single mom to 3 daughters and had to take on both roles.
Right. Yes.
And now I find myself, just in what you were sharing, what I think is so interesting is the fact that this actually triggered for me a very long journey that included depression and anxiety and all kinds of yucky stuff that I've been able to with a lot of support and a lot of help, walk myself out of. But I've kind of switched roles. So now in my marriage, my hubby and I have been together 15 years, I'm definitely the more dominant person, because that became necessitated. But now dealing with my mental health and everything, I'm finding myself, especially over the last 2 months, I'm like turning into the squishy again, which is awesome because it takes less energy for me to be squishy than it does to be this, that very masculine energy person. So I mean, that's kind of like my example of why this is so important to know.
Exactly, because you had no other choice. In a sense, you as a mom needed to step up, and this is like almost a generation of what's going on here. And I'm not. Like, trust me on this. I'm not saying that it's bad that moms had to do this, but it's unfortunate that they did.
Yeah, and it's not like it's not right, wrong, good, bad. No, it just is.
It just is because you have to step in for survival. Yeah. You have to step into that masculine role. And what it's really difficult to do is there's a lot of men that are not, because when they see somebody that powerful, they're going to be afraid of the women.
Very intimidated.
Right, very intimidated, or also because of the fact of oh my God, it's abuse or this or that, or like you can't be a man. It's really tough for men to feel safe to be a man as well, to be in the masculine is what I was trying to say.
I totally agree.
Right, but without being like, oh my God, you're harassing, or you're doing this, or you're doing that, and not to take away like that whole the Me Too. Again, there's a lot of putting down, or I don't want to say bashing, but putting down of the masculine. But then again, turning around and trying to say like, well, we need real men. Where are the real men? And so it's a fine line to really, like a fine line to kind of be able to cross, go back and forth. And really, it's just about that intention. And then the most is just to be grounded as best as I can as a man, to be there for the community.
Well, I think one of the things that I've noticed, and it's so frustrating, I know Marie and I talked about it last week, about how, what romance is today isn't what it traditionally was. And the same thing with that masculinity and femininity. It's the world has created this completely ridiculous new definition, and it's so not in alignment. Men, what masculinity truly is nothing that the world perceives it to be. Is that a fair statement?
I would say that, yes, exactly. And it's kind of good. It's almost going back a little bit, but then bringing it into the model as well, because there's been shifting. And so this is where having these conversations with men as well. Like I teach, in my coaching, I help them to kind of figure out where it is they need to be, where they need to step up a little bit, maybe tone it down. Because sometimes people think masculinity, oh, I'm masculine, yeah, I'm here, macho.
Yeah, and there's no manual.
There's no, exactly.
No manual.
Right. Just like in love and romance as well. In love, there is no manual. Everybody's doing the financial, everybody's planning for this, college, whatever, but we never learn how to love. We never learn how to be in relationships. And so then I even have a weekend. It's actually called Touch Me, Touch You.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. So like really the first day you get to learn how to connect with yourself.
Oh, I love
And then the second day you get to connect with others. And I'll actually be coming a little bit more. I'm getting more and more invited, probably later on this summer, maybe September, right around there, because we're talking about, and actually one of the things I'm going to be doing is having my weekend, Touch Me, Touch You, and then we're also going to be doing an NLP for couples with my girlfriend, Sammy. Let me rephrase that. She's my girlfriend, but more importantly, she's my partner.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's amazing. She really
amazing.
is. And we're going to be teaching NLP for couples. How to learn how to connect and communicate, but also learn how to. I'm going to use. What's popping in my mind is more of I'm going to use Marie's a little bit, but rules of engagement. I know Marie's going to be talking about that as well, but we're going to talk about how do you communicate, how do you do this, how do you not get triggered, that kind of thing. So when you start to to realize that it's really about us, then you may do something, and then I may get triggered. It's like, and then to realize, wait a minute, it's not you, it's me. What is it is? Go process it, come together, talk and communicate, and having that safe space to do that.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, that is fantastic. So that's going to be, you guys, you and Sammy are going to be here this fall doing something.
Yes, and then I'll have my own workshop as well, the Touch Me, Touch You.
Not here?
Yes, as well.
This is cool.
Yeah, I'm really feeling a strong, and I've been invited quite a bit, but I'm really feeling this like strong calling to come here and to start to really and I'm really connecting with some really amazing men out there. I'm not saying there's not a lot of men out there, but that are good, but there's quite a few here in Boise. But it's also to create that community, because in Los Angeles, there's a community already there. You know, and what I'm feeling here is women are growing so much by leaps and bounds. They're becoming more enlightened, if I can put it in that term.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I agree.
And men are probably feeling like, oh my God, what do I do? How do I talk to this person? How do I be with this woman now? And so we need to, as men, we need to step up and learning how to do that. So I'm feeling very comfortable and really feeling the really warm embrace from this.
Well, I'm thrilled you're here.
Well,
I
thank
think
you.
it's fabulous.
Yeah. And so
so many things I want to talk to you about.
Exactly.
You pick what you want to talk about, because I have 10 things that we'd be here for all day.
Oh my gosh. So I'm really, so that's how, so I'll give you a little bit of my background as well. Just going back, let's go back that way a little bit.
Let's do that.
Yeah, it's a little fun, because I started in the, and I don't want to call it pickup, but it was meeting women. I kind of wanted.
That's a pickup.
That is pickup. So I just didn't know.
Just gonna call it like it is, people. That's a pickup.
Right. Okay. It's pickup. So learning how to meet women, learning how to boldly go where no man has gone before.
I hear snickering over there. They're dying over there. Yeah. You picked an awesome one, Sammy. He's awesome. Boldly go where no man has gone before.
That's right.
This is going to get interesting.
So, because most of the time, most of the men want to get laid.
Yes, they do.
And they don't realize that to get a high caliber woman, you need to be a high caliber man.
Ooh, say that again.
So if you really want a high caliber woman, you need to be a high caliber man. You need to build yourself up and be able to ground that energy that comes from a woman. So the more feisty a woman is, then you have to be able to handle that.
Okay,
and
so
I like you feisty in a good way.
Ladies that are watching this, #feisty if that fits you, because amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Because if not, then they'll disappear and go away
Yeah.
with their tails between their legs. So it's not good.
We don't do it on purpose.
No, it's not. It's what it is. And is it okay to use coarse language? Or not so much?
Hell if I care.
Okay.
No, I don't care. Say whatever you want to. It's because you're in luck. My granddaughter's not watching this morning.
Awesome.
So you say whatever you feel the need to say, my friend.
Because sometimes it's very poignant and it's very needed, right? So it's something where, and women will shit test. Will give men a test. Like, can you take my shit? In the most positive way.
Hashtag busted.
Yes. Right? And they'll push. And if you can't handle it, next.
Yep.
Exactly. But then when you get intrigued, you're like, oh, this guy's taking it. And he's not being fazed by it. He's being very confident. Then you're like, that intrigues you, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. And so the more that you can take of the testing and ground it off, the more and more the walls start to break down. And the barriers start to break down. Because you know what? I can trust this man. And then this is where it allows you to go into your feminine. So you can be free and creative and sway in those winds of emotion.
That is so cool. And that's incredibly accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. And so I just wanted to, again, point that out as far as the masculine and feminine. I think it's just so important that most people don't realize that. And it's not about being that macho jerk. You could be a completely very calm. What's happening is your husband grounds you.
Oh, beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Right. He's cuddly, but he's sounds like he's a lot connected because again, we have it both within us. It's about accepting that you actually have the feminine side within you as far as men.
Oh yeah, definitely. And he's totally that balloon string because I am all over the place. He's supported me from day one when I came home and said, hey, I'm going to leave this career I've been in for 8 years and I think I want to do this when I started my coaching business almost 10 years ago. And he was like, you do you, babe. I got you. And he
does, right?
He does. Nobody believes in me more than he does.
And that is a very attractive quality in a man.
Yes, it is.
And I'm sure you love him deeply.
We do. He's pretty fantastic.
I'd love to meet him at one point.
Oh, you have to meet him.
Yes,
He's
please.
so awesome. My hubby is fantastic.
Right, and this is about learning, and so having him, and even Marie's husband, Joe.
I love Joe.
You know, Joe's a great,
awesome.
great man. Met another man, recently, Jim, as well. And just knowing that we're out there to come together, to support each other. Because there are things that that women can only help women do. Like, when you start talking about certain things and consoling each other, because you have that same wavelength, that same brain pattern, right? With men, is the same thing. So many women want to try to console and do these things for men, but we can't. Only a man can take out an arrow from somebody else out of a man. Does that make sense? Like
that makes total sense.
Yeah,
I mean, whenever I'm dealing with stuff, I mean, I just want to be able to unload on my husband. I don't expect him to fix it.
Right.
Sometimes I just need to vent. And the same thing with him. If he's dealing with struggles at work or whatever it might be, he just wants to unload, and he doesn't expect me to fix it.
Right, and that's great for you too because you've learned that skill. That is a skill that you can learn, and most people don't have that skill. You know what I mean? It's like what's coming up for me right now is this idea of, like, I have from another mentor that I listen to. Men are like knight in shining armors. We're like sitting there. We want to protect. We want to be the chauffeurs. We want to do these things. But really, when you get inside of us, when you open up that chest plate, we're really just cotton candy on the inside.
I love that. He shared this last weekend, and that was so dead on. I can just totally picture my husband, this white knight and strong and protector, and it just mush.
And what goes with that, which is the positive, right?
Yeah, it's a good thing.
It's a good thing. It's a
not a
very
bad
good thing. No, it's perfect because once you understand that, then you can open it and close it as wanting to do that.
Yeah, it's a situation mandate. That makes sense.
And what happens is it's also having women understand that men are like that as well, because once you get into a man's heart, you're in there. Mm-hmm. And so whatever I'm not gonna say, it's like whatever happens, something falls out or like there's an emotion that comes at us, we take it in and we take it deep. And if we're hurt, that hurt is really, really deep. And giving a man time to do that. Again, that's where going to another man sometimes we need another man to help us to pull those arrows out of our back, because we're constantly being hit by work, by other people, by drivers, by even other women, kids. All these things are being shot at us, and really another man can only pull out that arrow. Yeah, because that whole talking and it's how can I say this? That's an amazing skill that you've developed with your husband. That's probably why you love each other so much, is that whole being able just to listen to each other, because men are fixers. We want to fix most of the time. But when we understand that what women want, just to be listened to be witnessed. And so actually the exercise that I went through this past weekend is about witnessing, right? Being witnessed and witnessing somebody else and having that patience and that grounding to be able to do that.
Yeah, that was the coolest thing ever, by the way, guys. That was pretty cool.
Thank you. And so, yeah, that's a little bit of something. Any other questions? I mean, it's kind of like, I know you're
so many questions. Gosh. You know what? Jump back a little bit. Give us some of your background, because
oh yes, I'm sorry.
I want to hear all about your background.
So yeah, we started went off on a tangent.
This is a really cool story. I've heard tidbits, so I've heard enough to know that I want to know more. So I'm excited to hear this.
So around 2010 or so, just a little bit before that, you know, I've been a massage therapist for many years now. It's 27 years, right? So I've had beautiful women around me, whether it's estheticians, other massage therapists, even clients. I mean, they're coming in, and I'm being like, wow. And in my world of that massage, I was very confident. But take me outside of that, and I was falling apart. I couldn't get the date. I couldn't get a date for the life of me, at least with the women that I wanted. And I ended up hiring a dating coach. And I was like, it takes a lot for a man to go out and seek help, because most of the time we think we can do it ourselves. We're lone wolves. I'm macho. I'm strong enough. I'm smart enough. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, or my personal favorites, the ones who think they know what they're doing and they just don't. Lord, I had a nice chunk of single years in between the husbands, and oh Lord.
And that's great, because you get to find out what you like and what you don't like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and
a whole lot more of the don't like, though.
Yeah, well, you know. But at least you focus on the likes, and then you go from there, right? Exactly.
Agreed.
So what ended up happening is I ended up becoming, you know, I actually went into the dating coaching, did something every day. It's important for us to do something every day, even if it's a little small something. So I would task myself to go and talk to like at least 5 people every day, have a conversation. It didn't matter if it's man or woman. And then I would actually task myself to get a phone number every day. To, you know, again, going through the pickup. And as I started developing this, at first I was like, oh yeah, I want the hot women, I want the 9-10. And then as I went through my journey, I go, I don't care about that 9-10 external, because that's going to shift. I'm really worried about more of what's in the heart and really in the mind. How are you going to have that juicy as
just a little bit every year that you don't need to.
Sammy says it.
He's
mindset.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
I
he's
just wanted
either
to make
about
sure.
to get in trouble or say something really awesome.
Mind sex. So much more important than yeah. When a man really realizes that that's more than you get it away from the genitals and you do a full body, you can have a full body orgasm as a man as well, not just a woman. And that's a whole other side of things that I teach and talk about too. It's a tangent.
We need to go to this class, people. I'm just saying. All the ears are like in here. Everybody's listening.
Right.
Heads are turning.
Because women can have multiple orgasms, and so can men. And it doesn't mean that I'm talking about ejaculation. I'm talking about multiple full body orgasms. When you get to that point, oh man, the stars align, everything just explodes. It's beautiful. Yes. So going on through all this, so I went to the coaching, and I every day for a whole year I did something. Like I tasked myself, I did this, and so many different things that I did. Eventually, actually, my coach, who I hired me as his coach.
Nice.
Because he was good at certain things and I was good at certain things, and he realized that what I teach is about connection. Because creating those meaningful connections is whatever. Creating meaningful connections is the gateway to whatever it is you desire.
Agreed.
And that's what I teach, is how to get those things. And so I've explored. I've done so many things. We talked about the tantra, a little bit about the sex, multiple orgasms, all these things. How to pleasure, touch. Again, because of my skills of massage for so many years, now I teach classes on massage as well. Like our touch classes, how how to give a session, how to connect with the partner in that way. So that part of it is in that touch me, touch you class as well.
And we have to wait till September.
Right. But I will actually, my website's being redeveloped right now.
Oh, sweet.
It's the7truths.com. It's the number 7truths.com. You can actually go to the 7 Truths Facebook. I don't have anything really set up yet, but I'm like, it's all being revamped right now.
Nice.
But you can actually email me at touch@the7truths.com, and I can send you some information. And if anybody's really interested, actually, if it's okay, if I could give them a free gift.
Give away.
Oh,
Do
please.
I get one?
Yes, of
Well,
course.
give away.
Yes. So it's something that I like to do so people can actually get to know me a little bit more. I usually give away a free 30-minute connection strategy session
Oh, nice.
to find out where you're at, and then also find out where you want to go, and then find out like what's the best path for you. And sometimes it's something that I can give you, and maybe sometimes it's not. But a lot of times, it's when you connect with me, usually like something resonates. It's usually something that connects with between you and myself. Let's say.
Nice.
And-
I love it. So it's touch@the7truths.com.
Yes, with the number 7.
With the number 7.
Number
Don't write it
7.
out. Just
Yeah,
the number
number
7.
7, yes.
So touch@the7truths.com.
And I'll probably post it down in the comments or something like that.
When we get done, Rafael can go ahead and put a link in the comments so you guys can go ahead and click on that and get that all set up. And look, there it is.
It's done. Wow.
Sammy's amazing. She's
Sammy's
over here
amazing.
running.
She's
She's our behind the scenes girl today.
Right. She's such an
pretty
amazing
fabulous.
woman. Yes. I'm so blessed to be in partnership with her and to be able to call her my girlfriend.
Yeah, she's pretty darn amazing. We've liked her for a really long time.
Yeah.
She's quite the rock star, and she actually is going to be an upcoming guest in April. So you guys will get to know her a lot better too, and coming up next
And
month.
you'll hear more about her things, and then we're going to talk a little bit more of the NLP for couples. And we have a lot of things that we really want to share. And it's about uplifting others so to create a better community. And
I love it.
yeah.
Oh, that's going to be fantastic. So, let's see here. I had another question, and then I got so excited about the free stuff, I forgot it. Because I do these things sometimes.
Okay. Yeah.
I
But it's
It was really good.
Thank you.
When I remember it, I'll just scream it at you.
please, you can always contact me, and we can go through the thread or whatever. But yeah, I really feel that this is something that I'm really needed in the treasure belt.
Oh,
something that
amen.
Yes.
Yes.
And I would definitely please, anybody want to contact me, you can private message me, and we can talk about it. And if you just whatever question you have, whatever you even think about, don't even be afraid of, because I know I've talked about it before with somebody. Because sometimes a lot of people are like, oh, that's so small. It doesn't matter how small it is.
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes the small things they're actually the big things.
Yes, very much so.
Sometimes when you look at your connection and your communication and everything that goes into a relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship, a business relationship, people kind of get things backwards, and
Yes.
they look at the big thing, and the big thing really isn't a big thing. It's actually a little thing that was caused by the little thing that's really the big thing.
Correct. It goes back and does this, and wherever we come from, right? So many things happen when we're children. A lot of things that we come from in life is from we something happened to us when we were children, and we come from that. Now, I'm not to say that certain experiences, like as an adult, will actually shift the way you're coming from as well.
Agreed.
But usually, it comes even before that.
So does part of that play into what you are teaching as well?
Yes, very much so. It's to break down and to reprogram, in a sense, things and get rid of. You'll never forget. You can forgive. And we talked about that over the weekend too.
I loved
right?
that because I totally agree. It's
Right.
like, you know what, we're called to forgive, we're not called to forget.
Right.
Because, fool me once, shame on me.
Yeah.
Or fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me.
Exactly. And what happens is we go back to that time. We remember all these things. And sometimes it doesn't even matter if you remember the instance specifically. Because it could have even been, and this is from experience, people in womb have had experiences because their mom felt something or something happened to them, and what ended up happening is it actually went into the cells of the baby.
Wow.
And so people don't really understand that. They're like, it doesn't matter. It's something that happened to them, and they can carry that through their entire life. And this is something that I work with the also because I'm a certified NLP practitioner. master practitioner, hypnosis, all of that. So we take these back that far to recreate the entire life. So you can let go and then like reinstill the positive things that happen in your life. And then that way you can let go of these things and you can create a new.
I love it. Oh my gosh, you guys, this has been fabulous. Wow. See, I seriously, I'd be here all day with him asking tons and tons and tons of questions. So, you guys, this has been an absolute blast. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today. I appreciate it. 'Cause seriously, you guys, he's on vacation.
It's been an honor. Thank you so much.
He and Sammy are on vacation, and you know they're hanging out with me, which is just it's awesome. So again, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Here at Coffee with Christa, it's my pleasure, it's my opportunity to be able to introduce you to people I think that you need to know every single week. But I want to throw a couple things out at you before we sign off.
Sure.
Starting in the month of April, I actually am going to be doing Coffee with Christa twice a week, you guys.
Awesome.
Seriously, I'm already completely booked. I've got guests lined up all the way almost until the end of May. Rock stars. Not just here in Treasure Valley, but across the country, Canada. I mean, you guys, I keep telling you, I know awesome people. And I love to talk with them. So I love being able to bring you people every single week. And then, of course, we're going to move to a twice a week format. So I'm super excited about that. Also, just one last shout out. This coming Monday, my Get Off the Damn Hamster Wheel program is going to launch. This is a 5-day free challenge. It's online, closed Facebook group. I'll go ahead and post in the comments below when we wrap up here the link so that those of you that are interested can go ahead and join. Again, it's totally free. And here's the thing. We all start off the new year. We've got goals, we've got dreams, we have things we want to accomplish. And then January 17th is the official date. Based on a study, I want to say Harvard, based on a study, January 17th is the official I Give Up Day. How sad is that?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing is there are a ton of great books and resources. I mean, you're a coach, so you know this. There's great resources. There's great books. There's great webinars. There's great everything. What I've discovered is that because there's about 10 to 15% of the public that says, I'm going to set this goal and I'm going to achieve it, and they just do it because they're that director personality, they can just achieve that.
Just do that, yeah.
Well, what about the other 85% of us? Because I'm in that, I'm there.
Oh, totally.
I'm there. I'm going to do this and it gets done kind of a person. I need as much help as I can possibly get. And so we read a book or watch a webinar. Well, more often than not, it's the 10 to 15%ers that have written the book, that are holding the webinar.
Correct.
And so their tactics might be fantastic, but they're not really in alignment with who we are. So I'm going to spend 5 days. We're going to dive into ideal personality. We're going to find out how you're wired. And the best part of it is that at the end of the 5 days, you're going to have your own success system for setting and achieving goals. So I'm really excited.
Wow, I want to join too.
Well,
please.
Join. I would love to have you in. It'll be so much fun.
That'd be awesome.
So you guys, we still have got plenty of room. Again, it's free, and this is meat and potatoes. This is not some fluff and stuff sales pitch, because I have been on those and I hate them with a passion that matches the fire of 1,000 suns. So this is actual meat and potatoes. Was having a conversation with my coach the other day. The class, he said, is valued at well over $1,900.
Wow.
He said that's
What
you're
a
giving
gift.
away some good
Thank
stuff.
you.
So I know how frustrating it is to not be able to achieve your goals, and I figured out how to make it work. I want to help you make it work. So please, I'll go ahead and post the link below. Would love to have you join. Please feel free to share it. Plenty of room, and I'm a firm believer that there's strength in numbers, and so the more people in the group, the better, because then we'll be able to kind of create that momentum together. So that kicks off Monday, you guys. Thanks again for hanging out with me and the fabulous Rafael Lopez here on Coffee with Christa. And next week, oh my gosh, next week our guest is going to be the beautiful Angie Shea. She is the owner of Bridges here in the Treasure Valley, and she provides non-medical in-home care for seniors, and she has also written a fabulous book that we're going to get to jump into. She's got a class coming up too. She's such a gifted speaker and author, and she teaches on boundaries.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, so Angie's going to be here next week, one of my girlfriends. She's amazing. So you guys, thank you so much for tuning in, from Rafael, myself, and you know, the cheerleaders over here, Marie and Sammy. You guys, thanks so much, and the beautiful Chardonnay. Come down, check out Chardonnay's Brew Lane. Grateful for their sponsorship. Love that she lets me come and hang out every single week, now twice a week, and disrupt the heck out of everything. So you guys, go have an amazing rest of your week, and thank you again
You're so very
for being
welcome.
here.
Thank you. It was an honor.
And as always, everybody, go be blessed in your success. Bye.